today's MC for this wonderful and phenomenal woman who we all came to celebrate today. A little bit about Vanessa. So, I met Vanessa. In fact, Vanessa was one of the very first people that I actually met here at Tavern, maybe early May. And there was an instant connection because she's just such a dynamic spirit. Initially, you could just, from her presence, you could tell that she's all about business. So one thing about Vanessa, there's some people that talk the talk, but she's a doer, like she walks in it. And I can honestly speak for everyone here at Tavern when I can say that she's such an intricate part of the success here. And just for that, I'm just totally grateful because she welcomed me with open arms. Thank you, Vanessa, for that. More importantly, what we're here today for. So we know her as the mover and shaker here at Tavern on LaGrange, but she's an author, she's a writer, she's an amazing mother, she's an incredible wife, she's an awesome, phenomenal friend. I can say she's a mentor because she's kind of nurtured all of us as we walk through the Tavern door. She's like the first person we see. She's the one that we call for all the answers. Vanessa, where's this? Vanessa, where's that? Vanessa, what? So, in that capacity, she is one of a kind. She is sophisticated, and she's that even in her ability to write. So, when you read anything that Vanessa penned, I can feel her spirit in her words because she's intentional in everything that she does. And this is just one of many events that we're going to have in celebration of you as an author. And it gives me great pleasure and great delight to welcome our guest of honor today, Miss Vanessa Alexander. Very light Q&A because we came here to party and celebrate, not to bore you. But obviously we're here to celebrate the second installment of her Priceless Passion series, and it's called No Turning Back. So, Vanessa, the beautiful Vanessa, what inspired you?
So with that being said, thank you for coming. I wrote the first book 8 years ago. During a really tough time in my life, was going through a lot of things emotionally, physically, financially, spiritually, whatever the case may be. I had a tough time sleeping, and this story was in my head constantly, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to write this book. So I started writing the book 8 years ago. The first process was a nightmare, to say the least. Nothing went right. Publishing was a disaster. And so I didn't even push the book as much as I should have as a new author. Then it came around 7 years later, and my husband said, why don't you republish the book? Why don't you relaunch it? So I said, you know what, let's do that. So I relaunched the first book last year, and I also started the second book, but was not ready to finish it. And he pushed me and pushed me and pushed me, and finally, earlier this year, I published the second book, and is in the process of writing the third, fourth, and the fifth. So this one is the completion, actually, of the first book. And in order for you to get into this one, you would have to read the first one because it's a continuation. So I do have books here for purchase. If you can get the first book, you can get those signed, and then you'll be able to finish with the second book. And with your purchase, you also get entered in for a $250 Tavern gift card. So we're going to give back to the establishment that allowed me to have it here today. So we want to make sure we keep circulating the black dollar. Absolutely. So if you purchase the books, then you get entered in for the drawing, and we'll be doing an Instagram Live. So you also need to be following me on Instagram because that's the only way you're going to know if you're a winner. So we want to make sure that we support each other. Like Greg always says, this is about Black love, Black power, and Black excellence. So that's the theme for tonight. All right, guys? Enjoy. I know some more people are coming. I don't know if anybody's read the book yet, so I don't know if you'll be able to ask me questions. Woo! But we can certainly do some Q&As if anybody has questions.
I have one question.
All right?
First question is, what motivates you to write such words?
Okay. What motivates me to actually write? Believe it or not, I have trouble articulating my thoughts.
Okay.
Yes.
Same here.
Yes. I have trouble saying how I really feel. So I can have a conversation, I can talk about anything. I'm not afraid to publicly speak, but when it comes to matters of the heart, I tend to internalize all of that. So writing has always been my escape. If I'm upset about something, if somebody's done something to me that I'm not happy about, instead of confronting them, I write it down. And then I will go back, I'll read it, and then I may send it to them, or I'll keep it to myself. And that way, this is my way of dealing with the issue. Right. So I just write everything down. And sometimes it's not the best way of communicating. You can understand that. Because you can't communicate if the other person's not reading it, right? So that's what motivates me to write. So I met Anita, I met Ingrid,
Tracey,
I met Tracey, I met Toyka, we met Greg, we met Stephanie, we met Shayla, we met Tanisha, and all of this has been in a short time. I've met Shay, I've met Keita, I've met Kevin. So many people that I've met in the year that we've been in Chicago, and they've just all welcomed us and just seem to be connecting the dots for us. So whatever the good Lord has in store for me, I'm just going to put all my fears behind and I'm just going to go for it, because that's literally what's kept me from doing anything. It's the fear of what if I do succeed, not if, what if I fail. What if I do succeed? And I've asked myself, are you really ready for this? Are you ready to be famous? Because everybody wants the fame and the glory, but a lot comes with it.
Anybody, any questions, remarks, anything you want to give Vanessa, encouragement?
What's your social media handle? Your Instagram handle?
Okay, so it's Author _Bey, B-E-Y. Author. So that's my professional page.
Oh.
My Moorish queen is just, my dog's page.
And we're assuming everybody's following Tavern on LaGrange, is that correct?
Yes.
of course.
Yeah, you'll be able to find it.
Yes.
Congratulations, Vanessa,
Yes.
on your publication.
Thank you.
Please tell us, who have you written it for? Who is the reader audience that's going to connect with the spirit of your work?
Okay. I do believe that the book is relatable. It can go towards young men and young women, but specifically young women, working women, 35 to 45, I would say. It follows the lives of two best friends who are professional women who are trying to balance life, love, career, and there's a lot of betrayal and even some death and some new life. But it's for anyone that loves to read. I think it's very descriptive. It's very passionate. It's very enticing. You can feel it. Yeah. You can feel the characters. You can see the characters, and you can probably see yourself in the characters because they're very real. I didn't make the characters where they're superficial and you can't identify with them. They're very identifiable. No, the book is not about me, but the main character has a lot of my characteristics. So she likes to drink hot chocolate, she likes to take baths, she's, all of those things. So if you read her and you know me, you'll be like, that sounds like Vanessa. So there are some instances in there where I incorporate myself in the book.
Yes.
I've incorporated my husband in the book. But you wouldn't know that if you didn't know me personally. So I think it's relatable to men and women.
Great. So it was very familial to you. You wrote from family relationships and so forth. And then I have another question for you. For this reader, is this taking place, is this for a global audience? Or does this take place someplace particularly regional or local to you, or maybe, a connection with your birthplace?
I believe it can be global. The story starts in New York and then continues to Atlanta.
Okay.
So there are a lot of identifying places and things. I'm very descriptive with that. So if you're familiar with certain places in New York or Atlanta, you'll be like, oh, I
know what
about
she's
this.
talking about.
And
Sure.
you know, of course, we're all familiar with the George Floyd murder. That's also incorporated in the book.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, you know, we just kind of get all of life's situations and just create stories around them.
Absolutely. Sounds like a great read. Can't wait. Thank you.